be Einstein's cousin. You don't have to be a senior at Caltech to know that illegal immigration is.
Imagine a world where the most basic definition of a word is treated as a radical political statement. We have reached a point in our national discourse where stating a fact found in a dictionary or a legal code is seen as an act of aggression. This hearing wasn't just another debate over policy. It was a collision between two irreconcilable versions of reality. One version relies on cinematic storytelling and shifting definitions to frame the law as an instrument of oppression. The other version, which we saw briefly break through the noise, suggests that a nation without enforced borders isn't actually a nation at all. It's a moment that reminds us why the public's trust in institutional rhetoric is at an all-time low.
Donald Trump and his administration have changed what it means to walk down the street in America. 374 days ago, an American citizen did not need to worry about carrying a passport or worry that they would be pinned to the ground for being unable to prove that their hometown was in fact the only home they have ever known.
Concede that the loss of life in Minneapolis was a tragedy, and I'm sorry it happened. Number two, this is the second thing that I know. You don't have to be Einstein's cousin. You don't have to be a senior at Caltech to know that illegal immigration is illegal. Duh. It's illegal. And those of us who believe that no one is above the law, we all say we believe that. I believe it. No one, those of us who say that no one is above the law have to concede that people in our country illegally are not above the law either. The law applies to them as well. Our immigration statutes are not second-tier laws. They matter just as much as the other statutes that have been passed by the elected members of Congress. And just like the other laws, the immigration laws have consequences and should have consequences if you violate them. Third and final point. You have the right to protest in America. Let me say that again. You have the right to protest in America. You do not have the right to protest violently. And in fact, violence, as you protest, undermines the morality of the thing that you're protesting over. Let me say that again. Violence, if you choose violence when you protest, that undermines the morality of the movement that you say your movement is based upon. You know who else understood that? Dr. King. King understood it. Gandhi understood it. Mandela understood it. Violently protesting, not protesting, but violently protesting undermines the morality that you say your cause is built upon. It's also dangerous. It's dangerous it's dangerous and it's stupid. It's 12-piece bucket of stupid. Because when you protest violently, when you interfere with a cop or an ICE officer, it's not going to end well. It's not. Under the best of circumstances, these officers are trying to enforce federal law. And the people with respect to whom they're trying to enforce federal law, or in most cases, I'm not going to say all cases, but in most cases are criminals. Not criminals because they're here illegally, though that too is a violation of our law, but criminals because they have violated other laws, in many cases felonies. And those ICE officials, those cops are scared. They're scared. They're dealing with someone who could be armed, someone who could be dangerous. So you've got a powder keg. And when protesters choose to protest violently and harass those ICE officials and blow whistles in their ears and block their way and spit in their faces and curse them and curse their children, they're giving off sparks in a powder keg. And it's not going to end well in many cases. I'm sorry we're at this point.
At the end of the day, this exchange transcends the personalities of the men in the room. It's about a simple, sobering question. Does a law have meaning if there is no will to enforce it? When we move away from the clarity of the written code and into the territory of selective outrage, we lose the very thing that keeps a society stable. If the law is only a suggestion, then the contract between the government and the governed is officially broken. That is a reality far more dangerous than any political disagreement. Please like and subscribe for more breaking news.